Okay, today we're doing our Chapter 2 Rational Numbers to get to test. Okay? So, going over this, you have one step on the top, and then we have some two-step on the bottom. Okay? And we haven't actually done two-step with this setting, but we're going to practice it now. So you have your railroad tracks, circle your variable, and here you have a positive or plus 1.25, so the opposite is to subtract 1.25, subtract 1.25. Those cancel or give you a 0, and you're left with x equals 2.5 minus 1.25. 1.25. Positive. Number 2. Railroad track, circle the variable, subtracting, so you need to add 9/10, add 9/10. Those cancel and leave you with x equals 3/5 plus 9/10. 3/2. Remember what I said about leaving the fraction improper. That is completely fine with me. Okay? Okay, number 3. We're going to do our railroad track, circle the variable, and in this case, these are being divided because the variable is on top. Okay, so the opposite of to divide is to multiply. And so you're multiplying both sides by 6. And those two are going to cancel and leave you with x equals, and then you have negative 2/3 times 6, negative 4. Number 4, you have your railroad tracks, circle the variable, and then if it's connected to the variable, or the variable is next to it, it's being multiplied. So the opposite is to divide. Divide by negative 4. Those cancel and leave you with x equals, you have negative 11 divided by negative 4. 2.75. And on your quiz, the number one mistakes I saw was your negative. Here you would divide by 4, but you wouldn't divide by a negative 4. And so your answer might have been negative when in reality it's supposed to be positive. Okay? And right here you may have multiplied and gotten 4, but you forgot that negative to make it a negative 4. On your test, those will be marked wrong. And so it's really important that you catch those little mistakes now. Okay, number 5 through 8, these are your two-step equations. Okay? You have your railroad tracks. Circle the variable and anything attached. This number attached is called a coefficient because they coexist. They go together. And then this is called a constant because it's not reliant or dependent on anything else. You should have learned those words in science, really, whether it was this year or last year. Dependent and independent. Okay, a constant is an independent variable. It's not affected by this. And this is a dependent or coefficient because they exist together. So you get rid of your constant first by minusing 7. Those cancel and leave you at 3.75x equals, you have 2.5 minus 7, negative 4.5. And that's your first step. And now it's a one-step equation. These are connected, so it's going to be multiplied, which means the opposite is to divide. Now before I do that, I'm going to check my negatives. I have a negative here and a positive here. Those cancel and leave me with x equals negative 4.5 divided by 3.75. And I'm going to check my calculator too. Do I have one negative? Do I have one negative? Yes. So my answer is a negative 1.2. Okay, next one. Railroad track, circle your variable, also that negative. Don't forget that negative. Now I have this positive 4, so I'm going to subtract 4. And I have negative 9/10 x equals 3/5 minus 4. Negative 17/5. Now, a fraction is a division problem, but you're not looking at the fraction, you're looking at the variable connected to the fraction. The variable, because it's on the side of it, is being multiplied. So the opposite is to divide. So I'm going to divide by negative 9/10. So I have negative 17/5 divided by negative 9/10. Now, I'm going to check. Did my negative come over? Yes. Are both my negatives in my calculator? Yes. So now I'm going to hit enter. 34/9. X equals 34/9. Number 7, you have your railroad tracks, circle the variable. You have plus 4/7, so I'm going to minus 4/7. Minus 4/7. Those cancel. Now I'm left with x over 6 equals negative 2/3. Don't forget the negatives. Minus 4/7. Negative 26/21. These are being divided, so the opposite is to multiply. Multiply. Those cancel. X is going to equal negative 26/21 times 6. Negative 52. Excuse me. Over 7. Number 8. Railroad track, circle the variable. Add 0.75. Add 0.75. Those give you 0. Negative 4x equals, I have negative 11 plus 0.75. Okay, I know someone out there is going to put 11.75. Okay, you can't because one's a negative. So you've got to add them. It's going to be like 10.25. Yep. Negative 10.25. And now the final step is look at these two. What operation's happening? Multiplication. The opposite is division. If you notice, don't forget that negative. It's a negative 4. It's a negative. Because now you have a negative 10.25 divided by a negative 4, which gives you a positive. 2 decimals, let's do 2.56. Okay, flip it over. You have 6 combining like terms and distributing. So here you have your Santa hat. Okay, you're gonna go 5/6 times 6 which equals 5. add your variable, and then you have 5, 6 times negative 7. So you have 5, 6 times negative 7. Negative 35 over 6. Okay, next one, we have negative 2 that we're going to be distributing. Negative 2 times 4.3 gives you a negative 8.6. No variable there. No variable. Then you have negative 2 times negative 3.2. Gives us a positive 6.4, and then add your variable. You could have written it the other way too, that's fine. Okay, number 11. You have 4.8 times 7. 8 times 7. Which is 33.6, no variable. 4.8 times negative x. Really, it's times negative 1x. Negative 4.8. Add your variable. Most of you probably did that at one in your head. Okay, number 12. Number 12, you have your t-chart. You have your x's and your whole numbers. I always circle the numbers. Oh, can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, we have 3.2, that's a whole number. Negative 9x. 7.1. Negative 3x. Then you just add them up. 9, 10, 11, 12. So you're going to have a total of negative 12x. And then you have 2.3. 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 10.3. Okay. On number 13. Here we are going to distribute first 5/3 times 5. I can't do that in my head. 5/3 times 5 is 25 over 3. Then you have 5/3 times a positive 9. Oh, don't forget your x there, which is 15. Plus 4/5 minus 36 over 5x. Now I need to do my t-chart. After you distribute, you do your t-chart. I need more space. Let's use this. My x's and my whole numbers. Okay, I have 25 over 3 x. I have 15. I have 4/5. I have negative 35 over 5x. Then we are going to add those up. 25/3 plus negative 35 over 5. 4/3 x. And then you have 15 plus 4/5. 79 over 5. So your answer is going to be 4/3 x plus 79 over 5. Definitely the hardest one. "14. No distributing needed, so you just have your t-chart. 1/8 x. 7. Negative 3/4 x. One-eighth plus negative 3/4 is negative 5/8 x plus 7. Okay, and then on your story problems, 15, 16, and 17, all of them, you need to write the equation before you solve. Okay? 15, you are a salesperson for Worldwide Widgets. Each week, you earn $200 plus 2/9 of your sales. What dollar amount of sales do you need to collect or to earn $300? So you want it to equal 300. That's your first answer. Write the equation. Second answer is to solve. I minus 200 divided by 2/9, and the answer is 450 sales. Next, the Trek Club plans to hike 25 miles today. If they travel an average speed of 2.5 miles per hour, how many hours will it take them to complete the hike? 2.5 miles per hour equals 25. These are being multiplied, so you divide by 2.5, and it will take you 10 hours. Both of these are your answers. If you just have the answer, you need to write the equation. If you just have the equation, you need to write the answer. You need both. Let me highlight that. You need both. 17. Henry goes to a carnival with 3 friends. That means there's 4 people here. They each ride 5 rides, which means there's 20 rides total, times the cost per ride. 2 of them buy ice cream for $3. Henry, which is 1 person, buys a hot dog for $5. And one of his friends buys a hamburger for $4, and then all of them spend $1.50 on drinks. How much should they spend total? You can just plug this in. So it's going to equal X. So you have 20 times 5.5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 1.5 times 4. $131. Once again, you need both answers. You need the equation written out. Funny looking equation, but it's still the equation. And the answer. Check those, get this turned in.